Welcome back to another edition of the Total-MLS Roundtable. I don't even know what the name of the show is. We're back. The playoffs are back. It's time to talk everything playoffs. I'm wearing this Chivas USA scarf today. Rest in peace, friends. Got the Chivas USA banner down here, over here, something like that. Also, this 2006 MLS Cup champion shirt. It's a little small on me from 8 years ago when I bought it. So, may need to go on a diet, but that's a whole nother story. Let's just get into the playoffs. We've got two games coming up in midweek. What I think they call them knockout round officially, wild card, play-in. We needed another playoff team to make the players' union happy game. In the West, it's going to be Dallas. Oh gosh, Dallas hosting Vancouver. A lot of people, it seems, in the social medias today, thinking Vancouver can win this, going to Dallas. I I don't know. It seems Vancouver is a little bit of a favorite just from the public perspective. What do you guys think, Mike? I'll start with you. Vancouver coming in off a win in their season, had to have it to get in. Dallas failed to win at home against Portland, dropped them back into the wild card game. So
Uh,
maybe Vancouver has the momentum.
I mean, yeah, you get a win, sure, but I think with Vancouver, I think their finishing is going to be their big question mark. And I think people also want to see another Cascadia rivalry in the playoffs, just because that's what narratives. We need narratives, and every every game needs narratives nowadays. Um, but I mean, Dallas can really hit you. They can if they're on their game, they're good. I'm surprised that they fell this far this quickly. I mean, what was it, 3 weeks ago that they were beating LA, and now they're in the they could have got second, and now they're in the playing game, wild card game, knockout round game. So I don't know. That's a toss up. It'll be tough. Vancouver has to go down to Dallas, so they're on the road. But the last few years, the road teams have always kind of surprised people when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is. I saw some Dallas people tweeting, well, if you'd have told us this at the beginning of the year that we'd be the 4 seed, we'd have taken it. But if you'd have told them Friday they were the 4 seed, they probably wouldn't have taken it. They had to beat Portland at home to get to avoid the play-in game and go straight to LA. But I mean, I think a big question is, do the people of Dallas turn out? They're not always the greatest with attendance there. It's a midweek game. It's a later start. I think it's 8 Central, maybe.
Yeah, but they set a record this season, though, for their attendance. Let's keep that in mind. So, I
They,
mean, albeit they haven't been turning out in years past, they are now. So, we'll see.
yeah, they've been. I mean, I think I haven't looked at the numbers totally, but they've got to be one of the highest spikes in attendance. I mean, it helps that they're good this year, obviously, and that they've been winning. But I think they're doing a lot of good in their marketing and their, just getting the team out there, getting people in Dallas to go because it's a drive up there to Frisco if you've ever been. Frisco's kind of out there by itself off a toll road even, so it's a weird kind of setup, but they've done a good job at it. But I think, yeah, Dallas has the playmakers. If they can score a couple early, Vancouver will be pressing, and I don't think that's what they want. Philip, you have any thoughts on the Caps and FC Dallas?
I think Dallas can have just enough to get by. I'm kind of leaning towards taking the contrarian view because so many people want to see a Cascadia matchup that I don't think people are going to get their storybook matchup, so to say. So I
Yeah.
so I would think that Dallas at home, they do have the playmakers and they have slumped a little bit. They did lose to Portland, um, But a lot of that could also be resting people to get ready for the playoffs too. So you could take their recent run of form into consideration, but I don't know if you could take too much stock into the Portland game specifically.
Yeah, I'll probably make some people mad with this, but I just don't think Vancouver's that good. I mean, they just to get into the playoffs, they needed a goal from their center back to beat. Sorry, Tyler, one of the worst teams in the league at home. I mean, he hangs his head in shame. That
It's
was
true though. I mean, they struggled against us. So, and if you watch the games that night, they struggled against that night. Let's keep that in mind. So I think honestly 3-1 Dallas takes it probably easily, where it's like Vancouver is struggling toward the end and they're really pressing and they have Dallas pinned back a lot, but it's going to be one of those goals where it's 3-1 late, that one late. So my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of along the same lines. 2-1, maybe 3-1 if they catch one on the break late. But I'm thinking Dallas wins it and also upsets the dream Cascadia matchup. Philip, you have Dallas as well.
Yeah.
Mike,
Well, I was gonna say the only thing though is if Vancouver can beat Dallas, they really have a pretty good shot at beating Seattle because they play in the Cascadia Cubs. They know both teams know each other, so Vancouver would have I mean, I don't want to say Vancouver have an easier time playing against Seattle than Dallas, but it won't be as tough as whatever. But it won't be as tough as another team playing Seattle.
yeah, Vancouver can run with them. I mean, they can't finish that good, but they got a lot of fast guys. I think they match up well with them, but can they get by Dallas? That's the thing. Mike, you make it a clean
I have
sweep.
Dallas. Yeah, but remember, both these teams have each played in the playing game one time, and both Dallas and Vancouver lost. Vancouver lost in LA, and Dallas lost at home to New York.
Yes,
When the East and the West could still.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think the Dynamo won an Eastern Conference championship when they were still in the West one year.
Yeah.
Those were the fun days. I think RSL won the East one year.
Salt Lake, I remember one time.
Yeah, we were also Eastern Conference champions in 2010. So
Yep, you guys beat San Jose, and we beat RSL. We were the Western Conference champions in 2008. So it's a good time.
Oh yeah, those were the days. The good old just put these extra teams into the playoffs and away we go. At least we're not playing on Halloween this year. Seems like every year there's a playing game on Halloween and like 200 people show up. And the league's like, what's going on? Why aren't people coming? It's a great time to bring your families. Like, well, I don't know if you guys know, but there's free candy out there. All right, so that's the West. Moving over to the East, we've got. It was all set up last night. Sporting Kansas City at home, a win. They avoid the play-in game. Even a draw, they would get a replay at home with New York, but they lose. So now they have to go to Red Bull Arena. It's not been a great run of form for Kansas City, as we were kind of discussing in our pregame show. Even Houston went there and beat them, so maybe it's good to go on the road. But we've got our New York and Sporting contingent here. Mike, the Red Bulls will win Thursday because
they want to finally win a home playoff game at Red Bull Arena. They have not won a home playoff game at Red Bull Arena. They've been pretty abysmal there.
What happened last year? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, so let's Omar Cummings right in my face practically scored that goal. I mean, Wright Phillips has to be on like he was last night. I mean, I can't believe he pickpocketed Cullen like that, and that was probably the worst play I've ever seen Rowan Cullen make in his entire MLS career.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I mean, on
Collins been
on a conference call today, Pecky was saying that they're very unsure about Henry. but I don't think we have to worry about that. I think Cahill underneath Wright Phillips was a very smart tactical move by Pecky. He could easily went with Peggy under there, but I think Cahill gave a lot of worry to Cullen and Beasler, and that gave Wright Phillips the freedom to roam the back line like he did. And their defense needs to not ball watch. Olave, whoever's next to him, whether it's Sagaya, Armando, Eckersley, Miller, they need to not ball watch. They didn't ball watch against Kansas City. They ball watched against the Crew, and they've ball watched the majority of the season. So the Rebels need to not ball watch to win that game. That's the number one factor.
Philip, Sporting Kansas City, goes to Red Bull Arena, gets the upset if...
I almost don't want to answer the question. They'll win if, New York
they score more goals than New York.
Yeah, well, New York has a couple red cards, and maybe it's a 1-0 game. No, but I don't want to say that the team is horrible, because they're not. This is roughly, barring a couple of players, the same team that won the MLS Cup last year. So this isn't a team that's horrible or untalented. Peter Vermes said last night that the team is tired, and obviously anyone who has seen them play knows that. I think that over the last 3 years they've been, I don't know, they've argued we have played more games than any other team in MLS, with Champions League, U.S. Open Cup, going deep in the playoffs the last 3 years. And just the way Peter Vermes runs the team, he's big on fitness. So obviously you're going to get more out of your guys, but it's also going to tire them out eventually. Beasler and Zusi went to the World Cup. They trained under Klinsmann, who's the same type of guy. So that's a big reason why they're not really on it. So it's just a lot of those factors. I mean, it sucks to see them looking like this, but I mean, you can't really expect miracles out of a squad that, compared to a team like Columbus or New England, who haven't been in the playoffs that often, haven't had Champions League. Sporting's probably playing like 20 more games over the last 3 years than those guys. So I can't really expect anything different than what's been going on. Now, Thierry Henry is, who knows if he's going to play, so that may help. Didn't help Sunday night.
Didn't help last night.
No, but it is a new postseason. Sporting knew they were getting into the playoffs, so who knows? I'm not really expecting a win. I'm expecting to just get eliminated Thursday on my birthday. So happy birthday to me. And fans, players, coaching staff, front office staff will enjoy a well-deserved vacation and hit them hard next year.
Yeah, I think I don't think Sporting wins, but I think I think the one thing that is in their favor, I mean, obviously they did it 11 months ago, but they are the champions. They've been through the grind. They know the playoffs, kind of Houston in a way where, well, we got in, now here we go. They got in, they limped in, they backed in.
That's the issue.
Into the 5 seed. Houston
usually
peaks late. Yeah, Houston usually peaks and gets in. They're kind of sliding from the 2 seed, and whoops, here we go back to 5th. So, I mean, if anything, I think they're gonna have to maybe just bunker down, try to hit New York on the brakes, maybe try to score one late, maybe even in extra time, like the Dynamo did last year. Just kind of keep them close.
And that has been something that Sporting is used to. They probably have parked the bus maybe once or twice. I just know I haven't seen it that often.
Yeah, I know they can tactically foul,
Yeah. Oh
That's,
yeah. They'll definitely make the game ugly. That's for sure.
they can ugly it up. If a Houston Sporting Kansas City game, I've seen a few of them. They both can ugly the heck out of a game, where
Well,
it's 25 fouls each. And go ahead,
the,
Mike.
yeah, I was gonna say the game at Red Bull Arena. Phil was there, and I know I put them at halftime. We were talking about that. That first half was a pretty ugly affair, and it was the week after. Was it Houston or New England? They had played at home.
Well, it was Wednesday they played New England, and they got
No,
it was like
yeah,
three
and
nothing.
then the Friday before they had played
Houston,
Houston
yeah.
then, and those were ugly games. But I mean, New York has been better against Kansas City away than they have been at home,
Yeah.
because they've New York has bunkered and countered against Kansas City. I mean, last year when we won, what was it, 3-2? I think Dwyer got like a garbage time goal, like right towards the end of the game. But Wright Phillips, Sam, Henry, we hit you guys on the counter, and I think we're more that's what we did last night. I think we're more comfortable playing against Kansas City Ham on the counter, so it works out better away. I mean, but
And
for
and
you
even
guys,
yeah,
I was gonna
and
say,
and even Twelman pointed it out. You know, whatever that back four was doing, they were giving Ray Phillips the whole field to do his
it,
work. It's why
it
he
was
break the record.
yeah, it was almost like they actually wanted to him, to like when he was telling a story about Favre and Michael Strahan going for the sack
Yeah,
record. It was almost like they were trying to just give him that, especially that last 15 minutes after he had scored the second goal. There was so much space for him. I tweeted on like 2 or 3 separate occasions. It's like, how much space are they going to give him? I mean, it was like the space they gave Henry back in September on Henry's goal, but it was, I mean, he had acres.
What it showed me was it was either they were fatigued and knew they were going to get beaten, or they were afraid to attack and make a mistake. The confidence in the team is just so low right now that they were inviting them to come close and maybe hit it deep instead of trying to fight them and then get beaten and then just get an easy goal.
Yeah.
I think it kind of looked like that a little bit.
Beasler's got to be hurting still, huh? He
Oh
doesn't.
yeah, he did not.
Yeah,
look-
Beasler has the contusion. He's going over that. I mean, he broke his hand as well. But
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he's played he played the World Cup. He's played.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
he needs
Peter
a
Vermees
break.
I think, Peter Vermees, to a fault, he subscribed to country before club. I think this should be one of those times where he should have told Klinsmann, I don't want my guys playing in the friendlies.
You don't need it.
I think he should have stepped up and said, I want them to the playoffs. They played the World Cup. They were here in the winter for you. Let me have these games.
Maybe Garber could have called Klinsmann. They're pretty tight.
Yeah.
They talked it out.
Well, that goes back. They were saying on the broadcast last night, maybe MLS should stop playing games during FIFA mandated international breaks. I mean, hopefully in the CBA coming up, the players union can get that negotiated, because it's unfair for any player to tell their country, no, I can't play because I have a club. I have to. What every other league in the world basically stops. I mean, we're going through it with Cahill, where fans are calling him out, the media is calling him out, and it's completely unfair. This guy is trying to get. He's the face of his country. He's letting out.
He is Australian soccer. Yeah.
So it's ridiculous.
And it penalizes the good teams who pay this amount of money to get these top name players, and then they can't play in the crucial games.
Yeah. Wasn't it a part of Cahill's contract though that he would be able to go to all the Australian dates? I thought that was a part of his deal.
When he came to MLS, when he talked to MLS in New York, he had said, I'm going to be available for every time Australia calls me up if I'm healthy to go and play. And Baca and MLS was fine with it because, okay, he said he was not going to be able to continue playing for Australia if he played in England because of the toll on his body. Yeah. So he came to MLS. Now MLS is a physical league as well, and he's more than like half the games I think he's played like outside of like games that actually matter, qualifiers, the World Cup, stuff like that. I think even played in England. Australia plays a lot in England. I don't know why, but they do. And then now they have the Asian Cup coming up, and it's going to be in Australia in 2015. So while they don't have to qualify since they're the home team, they still have to play games and prep their guys, and they're rotating a lot of their World Cup squad out for these younger guys, and Cahill is there to lead along these younger players, which is what I think a lot of people want Landon Donovan to do. But he's going to impart his knowledge onto the next generation of Australian players.
I'm really impressed and also surprised that it took that long to bring up that guy's name, Landon Donovan. Great job though. It was like what, 15, 20 minutes almost, right?
30. I did Landon get a gift in Seattle? No, I don't know that they were.
Give it time.
I think the only gift he wanted to leave was with that round shield thing, maybe, and he didn't kind of get it.
They took that back. Yeah, I don't think Landon got a gift from the Sounders faithful.
Probably not.
Landon.
Were the Columbus Crew the only team to give him something?
No.
I think every club did except for Seattle. We gave them something, but it was like a lame thing. It was.
I could be wrong.
Vacation something.
I could be wrong. I don't think Sporting did, only because they didn't play there again.
Columbus gave him a piece of the net and like a plaque with all the goals he scored there because he played a lot there for the national team, which kind of makes some sense because
that's
home field, the U.S.
DC gave him one of the broken down seats up in RFK.
Yeah.
Did it have raccoon poop on it?
A piece of the stadium? So it's the Berlin Wall now, apparently. That's cool.
They tried to.
Next stadium's falling down anyway, so.
They tried to give him the actual stadium, but he declined. Like, please, just take this with you. We really don't want it anymore. Please, we'll play outside on the field. Just he refused. I was kind of hoping he'd come back here so we'd give him something lame like cowboy boots, so we could feed more into the stereotype of everybody in Texas rides horses. And
just like Jeter and Rivera got from the Texas Rangers.
Yes, the Astros gave Jeter like cowboy boots and something lame this year. Like, really? All right. Anyway, Landon. So, Sporting, New York. Mike, I think you've got New York. Philip, you're not really feeling too confident.
Yeah.
No, my unbiased. My biased Sporting fan persona wants to say Sporting will win, but New York's got it. but I hope they prove me wrong.
See, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I want, obviously I want New York to win, but I mean, we've never won a home playoff game. We've only won two playoff games in the last 5 years, and one was in Dallas and one was in San Jose. So neither were MLS.
I forget who had this stat. It's one of the sporting bloggers from last night, and he said that throughout the season, Sporting has not beaten any of the 4 teams in the Eastern playoffs.
Ooh,
that's not what you hope for.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get moved to the West effective immediately.
Well, I did see it that
they are though, yeah. I mean, it was announced today, wasn't it?
Yeah, next year.
And I did see. I think they did have a better record against the West.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. It might have been. I can't remember who it was talking about how they were a pretty good record against the West the last 3 years.
And also a pretty good record away. They have a better record away too than home.
Tyler, you got any pick there? New York at Kansas City, or Kansas City at New York?
Not really. I mean, it must be nice to have somebody in the playoffs, I guess.
I'm with you, brother.
I know. But no, I think honestly, obviously with KC being in a bad run of form, I can't really pick them to win. But it's going to be closer than I think most people would give it. But I think 1-0 maybe. Probably, if not that, 1-1 going into extra time, and then New York pulls it out somehow with the Bradley Wright Phillips goal. Who knows? Wouldn't surprise me.
God help us if this game goes into extra time.
Yeah, I know, right?
penalties even.
Oh,
The horror. All right, so switching back to the West. Speaking of Landon Donovan, they were not able to get the job done. Now they get their old nemesis, Real Salt Lake, in the conference semifinal, 2 and the 3 seed. First though, I think we need to mention new to the MLS playoffs this year. It won't start this midweek, but those weekends games, the away goals rule now counts like it does in UEFA. So that's going to put a change in things. For instance, Houston would have lost to New York last year and not had the chance to go to extra time and win it because they drew 2-2 at home and then they drew 1-1 in New York. They would have been out if this year's rules were there. So you can call this the Dynamo rule, the Red Bull rule. But just remember that if you're watching games this weekend, the away goals will count. So hopefully, I don't know a lot of people that I think a lot of people don't like the away goals. I'm kind of a fan of it. It makes you actually kind of go for it on the road, not just bunker in and 0-0 and try to get through. That's what Houston did last year, 0-0 against Kansas City at home. And then they went to Kansas City, scored, and the rest is history. But, I mean, what do you guys think on away goals? A good addition? A needed addition?
Well, I love it just in the sole fact that it's another way to eliminate the possibility of penalties at the end. I think if given the choice, I think people would rather have a tiebreaker be the away goals rule than ending it on a random penalty kick.
Yeah, over 180 minutes deciding it instead of going to spot kicks is obviously a little more fair, probably. But, the Euro snobs are obviously going to like it.
Yeah.
Mike, you obviously like it.
yeah, it would have been nice a year ago. But does it also count for MLS Cup if you're
No,
the away team?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's the single
that's just a
game.
one game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have it for these
Only in the series, the
weekend
conference,
games too.
the conference semis, and the conference semifinals and the conference finals will have it. And then it does not. I need to check that again. It does not count in extra time, I want to say.
Oh.
So, which I think it does in Europe.
That's
Well,
Yeah,
I'm pulling it up. Speak amongst yourselves.
I guess I'm a Euro snob then, or maybe just a purist or whatever. But for me, I don't know why we didn't do it before. It does exactly what you just said, which is forces the road team to try to push and not just sit back and hope for the best. And we'll get out of here with a 0-0 draw. Well, that's not going to work if those away goals count. So.
but
Yeah.
maybe if not Euro snobbish, I did read Blatter said he wanted to do away with the away goals rule.
Yeah.
Or at the very least do away with it
He's
in
an
extra
hipster, man.
time.
I am all for doing the opposite of whatever Sepp Blatter wants. So.
Yeah, here you go from the MLS press box. The away goals tiebreaker will not apply to overtime in the second leg of any two-legged playoff series. So once it gets into extra time of the second leg, the away goals are off. So if it's 3-3 and it was 2-2 and 1-1, and then the away team, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, way to convolute something that's not that complicated. Hashtag
Right?
MLS.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it shouldn't be that difficult. Just keep the away goals rule in. I guess you don't want to punish because really in the Champions League there's no seed. You get either the home and the away.
It's
But in
random.
MLS it's random. In MLS they give the higher or the better seed the second leg. So I guess that's a disadvantage to them having to be the home team in the second leg in extra time. I mean, it makes some sense, but yeah, it's like
It is going to be confusing to explain on TV.
Yeah. Or when
It's
you're in the
gonna-
stadium.
I was gonna say it's gonna be very confusing to people when they
especially also when you have people who only solely watch MLS,
Right.
maybe not know about the away goal rule, and then you open a bigger can of worms.
That
Yes, like
exists. That's a thing. People who just watch MLS.
Apparently, yeah.
yes, yes, grandmothers.
They're called Landon Donovan fans.
Oh my lord. So people that should die probably at some point.
This
This
I'm
is
just
the
kidding. That was a joke.
this is the same people that were asking today if so to clarify, Chivas USA is moving to LA, and then no, they're actually we're in LA. And then people asking, I saw someone tweeted, LA Galaxy Insider, well, what's going to happen to Chivas' stadium now? But I think it will be used.
What?
For those that are wondering, if you, yeah, go look at LA Galaxy Insider's tweets today. I think he responded to someone that they will put it to use. Once Chivas leaves, StubHub Center will be used.
Except the tarps.
With the tarps. The tarps are available in the dispersal draft.
I think they should just auction off on eBay. Make a few bucks.
The tarps, the Chiva girls, Chiva fighter himself.
It's like a liquidation sale. Everything must go.
Everything must go. Sold to the highest.
Maybe they can pay some of the players for more money then.
Hey, those are the best fans they have, the tarps, man. They were at every game, every match.
Those tarps are loyal. These hoes ain't loyal, but the tarps are loyal.
Oh, poor Chivas.
So can we root for Mother Nature then for RSL and LA? Because I hate them both. So I'm going to be rooting for Mother Nature to swallow the stadium whole.
I mean, you could root for like 0-0 in both legs, and then like 15 rounds of penalties. Like Bruce Arena has to take one. And like fall
You said
over.
a nail and a nail in both legs, right? Because I'll take that for them. Yeah.
Bruce Arena pulls a John Terry and like falls.
Bruce Arena was a goalkeeper, right, back in the day. So have him and Jeff Cassar take a penalty against each other, see who could stop it.
I've always been for the coaches take penalties. Like last year in the MLS Cup final, Jason Christ Vermes for money. Best of three.
Only if they have to do it baseball style, where the manager actually has to dress up like one of the players and go out there in like full kick maker style the entire match, make him feel uncomfortable, and then he has to go out there. That would be best.
In every weather.
Bruce Arena in an LA Galaxy kit.
And the old school MLS penalties, the dribble up penalty.
Yes, the 35-yard run up. That'd be beautiful.
Yes. The 35-yard run up, you gotta take 3 of them. I don't know that I would literally pay money to see the Bruce Arena Siggy 35-yard run up.
Oh my God! Can we make that happen? Let's get some kind of GIF that somebody puts together for that. That's beautiful. I want it.
Next All-Star game.
If this is timed, they gotta take a penalty within 5 seconds.
They have like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think Ziggy and Bruce can run 35 yards in 5 seconds, much less get a shot off.
Ziggy's just going to have a hit from 35 yards out.
It's going to be just half-field dumps. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh,
He's going to go top drawer, Beckham style. From
like half-court shots in basketball.
He's just going to have to let one fly. And I don't know if the old man has it in him to, I mean, it'll be like some of those people you see in like the halftime promotions that have to kick. The Dynamo do this thing before games where they have like a fan take a penalty kick, it just kick it into the net, and there's been people sky them like 12 rows. There's no keeper, just like literally kick it on the ground into the net. There's been people like shank it over towards the corner flag. It's
What do they win? I mean, what do you win if you just score a goal, an empty netter? I mean,
I don't think it's
you losing dignity, that's for sure. But what else do you win?
If you miss, you gotta like pay $50.
I think it's just like like the season ticket holder of the game or something just gets to go out there and it's like first pitch type of lame,
Oh, that's awful.
That reminds me of the Diana Ross pregame video in the '94 World Cup.
Diana Ross where the goal just collapses.
Collapse on it. If that wasn't a metaphor for U.S. soccer back in 1994, I don't know what was.
Listen, if you have not seen the Diana Ross 1994 World Cup opening video, we're about to tweet it out from Total-MLS because it's too good. It's just comedy at its highest. Diana Ross with the form of Ronaldo in his prime from the spot.
I wonder if there's one of those another one of those Rob Dida things that he hasn't seen before that will blow his mind.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of doing the show. Rob had no idea.
Toronto making the playoffs.
He didn't know what the MLS 1.0 goal kicks or penalty kicks were. That was the best.
Rob had never seen the 35-yard dribble up, and I think he spent the entire night in the Chronicles just watching.
Didn't they do that in NASL too? I mean,
yeah,
back in the 70s.
Back in my day in high school, we did that as well. Took a few.
Well, that's what I was telling the guys last week. You weren't here, but I remember watching Once in a Lifetime about the Cosmos back then, and Johan Cruyff actually complimented the 35-yard run-up penalties, and he actually said he wanted to see that in European soccer.
Yeah.
Only if you.
Are you watching it now?
That was my Diana Ross trying to pull
Don't
it
do
up.
it without us, man. I want in.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to pull this up. We're gonna have to tweet it out. Anyway, so what were we talking about again?
LARSL.
RSL, yeah. They're pretty familiar with each other.
RSL and LA getting swallowed whole. Yeah.
They've played each other a lot. 2 legs. Who do you guys got, Tyler? We'll start with you.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Famine.
Well, I can't pick RSL to win. That's impossible. So I'm always going to go with LA. I'm going to say LA wins 6-1, and the goal comes on an own goal.
Atlanta don't have an own goal?
Yeah, because that's how he ends his career, with an own goal. And then he breaks his leg somehow. I don't know how. An own break.
He Rabonas one into his own net.
Yes, he Rabonas it, but he screws it up, and he breaks his own leg on the follow-through. That's perfect. Yes. Yep, that one.
There it is. The official prediction. 6-1. The 1 goal on a Donovan own goal. Philip, you can follow that up with your prediction?
I don't know how I can. The only way I can follow it is to say Real's going to win. But no, I was very impressed with Real during last year's playoffs when they lost throughout they lost to Sporting. But they're a team who they don't show everything in the regular season. They keep something in the holster for the playoffs, and as strong as this LA team is, they're going to have something for them. I don't want to go all conspiracy theorist and say that LA is going to get some breaks, wink, but
like Kubo Torres in a couple weeks. Anyway.
Yeah, foreshadowing. But
thanks, Landon.
But yeah, I think Real is going to take it strong in Salt Lake, and I think they're going to beat them. I'll say 3-2 Salt Lake.
Mike?
Well, Beckerman was quoted today. I think he might have watched one of our former roundtables where I said LA was going to host New York in MLS Cup because he echoed that sentiment that everyone in the league want to see that. He goes, but we're going to be there standing in their way. I think LA pulls it out 5-4 over the 2 legs. They'll be getting Omar back, so he'll be rested a bit. But I mean, RSL is going to be strong. It's going to be really, really close, especially if they have Sabo back, Plata. They just, like Phil said, they're different. Like Houston, they're different beasts when it comes to playoff time. It's just they're just one of the teams that you don't want to face any postseason. Like the last 5 years, it's just we don't want Salt Lake. So
I think I see this similar to last year's Portland Seattle 3-0, then 2-0, and it ends 3-2. Salt Lake wins. Off the Tyler, don't look upset.
I mean, I don't know how we can all be friends. This is ridiculous.
hey, I picked LA.
Okay, well, you're cool.
Listen, if anyone's out there, last year I picked RSL Sporting Kansas City final with Sporting winning it. So you're basically listening to the future here. I also said for my talking
Thanks,
point.
Prophet
Yeah.
Dustin. Share your
Also-
wisdom, sir.
Yeah, my talking point of something that we would be discussing afterward. You can go back and read it on the site. I said a team will lose that would have won via away goals, and we will have a rule change. So, Marty McFly went back in time to get the almanac.
Yeah, I need that almanac, bro.
It says Colorado Rapids. It's not
Yeah,
looking good.
we don't need that. We don't need that. That's pretty much set in stone. We don't need that part of the almanac.
It means it says we'll see you in the playoffs in 2019. Again.
Not if Pablo has anything to do with it.
Good or bad?
No. If he's still with the team, that's not going to happen. It's not possible.
Yes. Gotcha. All right. So the other West will be Seattle against Vancouver, Dallas. We all had Dallas. Anyone think Dallas beats Seattle?
No.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I might give Dallas a run there, just because of their pace. And I hate Clint Dempsey, but that's personal feelings aside. I really think that it'd be close, but yeah, probably not.
Yeah, and I think we may have a little more intrigue in the East, the one seed. DC is one of those teams that they're the one seed, but is anyone believing in them? So can New York beat DC over two legs? I think it's very possible. Mike, you think the Red Bulls can? Granted, they get by Sporting, obviously, but can they beat DC?
Well, you have to get by Sporting, and Olave can't get a red card in either leg. I think they can. It's just one of those things where no matter how you fared against each other as a rival in the come the postseason, it's you're gunning at each other. I remember 2 years ago them just completely collapsing thanks to Tim Cahill and Henry encroaching. I mean, they were past Kenny Cooper by the time he took that first penalty kick. And then Rafa just having to, do DC the favor and make it 10v10. So I think roles will reverse. I don't think we have a nor'easter coming in anytime soon into New York. There's no hurricanes destroying the tri-state area. We have to worry about switching games again and stuff like that. I won't be on the field shoveling snow like I was 2 years ago.
Hans Baca will not refuse to play DC.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they shot themselves in the foot with that one, the way their players were, and Pecky was pretty pissed about that himself. So, and he does not like to lose to DC, and neither does Dax McCarty. So I don't think they'll lose to DC. I think they can actually get by DC. I'm worried about the other two teams, though, in the East. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, New England Columbus. I think New England Columbus is a really interesting matchup. It's probably two teams that most MLS fans haven't seen much of. I mean, not that they're small markets. New England obviously isn't, but Columbus is. But they're not on TV a lot. Lee Wynn's having an MVP season. Columbus has just got guys everywhere. Steve Clark's probably in the running for keeper of the year. Higuain, Finley, Miram, they got guys everywhere. I want to really want Columbus to say Columbus, but I think New England squeaks it out, probably extra time in the second leg. Guys, Mike, New England,
Yeah.
Columbus.
I think of all the matchups and potential matchups for the semifinals, that's probably going to be the most intriguing one to watch. As you said, people don't really know them, and I think they're unpredictable. Like Philip said earlier, neither team has really been in the postseason. They've been on and off very, very quickly in the postseason the past couple of years. So, it's going to be fun. I mean, Jermaine Jones completely changed the landscape of New England. When the Red Bulls, the 2 games they played before he got there, they beat them by going through the midfield. Even when they were down to 10 men at Red Bull Arena in early August, they ran their midfield, and I think Jermaine Jones has really solidified them, and Lee Win is just doing unbelievable things for a guy I don't think anyone gave any shot to do. But then you look on the other side, Columbus. I mean, since they're not playing New York, what's that really tall guy's name that scored 2 goals against us? I can't think. All 3 of his goals came against the Red Bulls, so he probably won't score in that series because he's not playing against the Red Bulls. But, I mean, besides the names that you mentioned, don't forget Will Trapp defending for them, Parkhurst.
Oh, I love Will Trapp.
Waylon Francis. I mean, they're pretty talented from front to back, and they're dangerous. As long as Higuain doesn't take a penalty, they should be good.
Yeah, or he doesn't have a sitter like from 6 yards out that he can hit off the crossbar. Philip,
I can't call that one, but
Philip, what do you think? New England, Columbus.
Well, apart that this is a matchup for the MLS title belt.
Oh yes.
Yeah, goes without saying. I really think this matchup is going to be the winner of this will be in the MLS Cup final as the Eastern Conference champ. And quite honestly, I think out of all of the teams, if I had to root for another team other than Sporting, I'm rooting for New England. They came into the year not really knowing what this team could do. They had a lot of young players, had potential, but nobody really had them as beating down the doors of going to the playoffs and winning it all. And then they go out, actually do spend money to get Jermaine Jones and have to win it in a blind draw. But I mentioned it when they signed him that New England is doing this. They're paying all this money for Jermaine Jones because it's MLS Cup or bust either this year or next year. They're putting everything all in hoping that they will win the Cup either this year or next year or both. So I really want to see them get rewarded because this is the first time in a while that New England's ownership has paid attention to the team, and the fans do deserve it.
Tyler, you have any thoughts?
Well, thank you guys for bringing actual insight to this instead of me just bringing comedic relief. But yeah, no. As far as I'm concerned, Columbus does have a really good chance of coming out of this game with a win. But as Philip just said, Lee Nguyen's just been amazing this season. I don't know that he hasn't won MVP for me. I think he should. But as far as I'm concerned, I see New England going through here probably over the 2 legs. I would say 3-2. It's going to be close. It's going to be a good one. Good series to watch. I'll watch it obviously, but yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that's one of the games like to see this weekend, and of course it's not on TV.
It's not on TV?
MLS Live for the first leg.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I have MLS Live, but what about the people who actually want to watch it? Oh wait, it's Columbus, New England. That's why it doesn't.
And then Columbus you have to have Time Warner,
which 30% of the people in Columbus have.
That's awful. That's a shame.
And it's blacked out on MLS Live because it's local.
Well, at least the 30% get to see a team in the playoffs. My 100% of my fan base does not. get to watch anybody in the playoffs. So
It's nationally on Univision Deportes. If anyone has that channel, I don't even know.
So add another 5%.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, dirty footy then is what you're saying.
Basically, start looking for streams.
Yeah.
See what you can find. All right. We got about 10 minutes left. We'll go ahead and fire through our predictions. Eastern Conference champ, Western Conference champ, MLS Cup champ. Although, like DeAndre Yedlin, the Supporter Shield is the most important, so I don't even know why we're doing this. Thanks, DeAndre. But like Alexi Lawless said last night, no.
No.
I thought it was the Cascadia Cup. That was important.
I actually thought it was the Rocky Mountain Cup.
Yeah.
Or the
almost as valuable.
The Brimstone Cup.
the Trillium Cup. MLS has some sweet cups. Hey,
our cup is actually pretty cool, but it's not bigger than MLS Cup.
You guys are all missing out because unless your team plays for a cannon, an actual cannon.
That's true.
I love.
What's its name? George? Its name is George, right? The cannon.
Its name is
the father, the grandfather, the Goldfinger.
It's got a Spanish name.
Grasping at straws. I have no idea.
I always loved the pre-season tournament in Orlando at Walt Disney.
The Mickey Mouse Cup?
Yeah, literally. The Mickey Mouse Cup.
I saw some tweets
and
today.
I just want to
that's off. I saw some tweets today that's off this year. The Pro Soccer, the Disney Soccer Classic, yeah.
No.
I really do.
Being in the Magic Kingdom.
I really did want Sporting to win the Mickey Mouse Cup.
That's right. None of your teams have the Emirates Cup, so.
Yes. Oh, and by the way,
do you win an airline? I don't know what that means.
The cannon for the Texas Derby is called. His name is El Capitan.
Capitan. I knew it was something weird and archaic, like a Capitan.
Have some of that. All right, so MLS Cup, the actual championship. We'll start with you, Mike. Who comes out of the East? Who comes out of the West? Who wins?
I've been calling it for weeks. It's New York at LA, and it's going to be New York over LA with an Henry goal he's going to beat Landon Donovan or something like that right at the end of the game, and that's MLS Cup. I've already booked tickets to LA for that weekend.
There you go. This is coming from a man who full of confidence.
Yeah, that's incredible.
August, what was it? What did Donovan announce starting August 7th? That's when I called that it was going to be New York, LA, because Garber's going to work some Illuminati magic to get it that way.
There you go. There it is. New York City FC against the the Red Bulls, I'm sorry. Red Bulls against...
Yeah.
Get to those guys next year. Philip, Sporting Kansas City, the chance to repeat. The repeat last done by the Galaxy, 11-12. Yep.
Yeah. Well, the 2 years before that.
Yeah.
Last year, I waited until they won to go to Kansas City to fly out there and go to the game. This year, I'm not really looking at travel websites to buy tickets, so that's okay. I'll watch it at home. In the East, I have New England. The West, I have Seattle. And to win, because I'm always wrong, Seattle wins. So you're welcome, Seattle haters.
There you go.
The turf war?
Yes.
Yeah.
A legitimate turf war.
The battle of the share NFL stadiums. Seattle.
Another way we're looking at football lines. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah. Prop bet on the blurred lines.
There you go, Tyler. The famine cannot win. The earth cannot be swallowed up.
No, that's true. That's true. Locusts will not prevail.
Maybe the MLS shuts down.
Well, maybe. No, I think my pick would be Seattle and New England as well. Sadly, you stole my thunder, but I'm gonna go with Revolution actually, which is weird that I'm saying that, but yeah, um, I would like to see Dallas get there, but they're not gonna do it. So sadly, Seattle. I hope Seattle loses by a lot because I don't want that treble. That's it. They're probably going to win. They're the better team, but I don't want them to win the treble. So
I
If
I I, I had that dilemma myself. I respect Landon Donovan and everything that Seattle does, and if they did win, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I was thinking to myself, what would be worse in terms of
we'll
fans
never hear the end of it. We'll never hear the end of it.
yeah, either Donovan going out a winner or Seattle winning the treble.
It's Seattle.
I,
They'll
I,
never.
I think with Donovan, it would die down after about a couple months. Seattle, we would never hear the end of it.
They'll have like a treble banner.
they invented the treble, right? That's what it'll be. They invented the treble.
Yeah.
Oh God, and they would be the first, right?
Yeah.
They would. Yeah.
Oh,
And it would be a long time before someone else did that. So,
Which would be a wonderful achievement. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No, but I think we should collectively root against that, right? As a whole, as a group, as a conglomerate, we should just say, hey, no to Seattle winning.
People outside of Washington unite.
Yes.
Washington.
People even in Washington, with your numbers, they don't even know who they are. Half of them.
There you
Let's
go.
all unite. They're hipsters. They'll move on. We're good.
All right, I'm going against the grain here. I'm going to go New England, and Tyler will love this. Going Salt Lake, and I'm not going to call for a 65-yard Kyle Beckerman goal like those other guys that have a show that just ended on TV that like to wear blazers, but I think Salt Lake wins.
Wow. Really? God. Salt Lake wins MLS Cup? Did you just say that? Oh man. Okay. Well, that's possible. I mean, they are good. They're a good team. All jokes aside, they're a really good team. I want them to not win for obvious reasons, but they're a very good team.
I think they have the pieces, and they've gotten better as the year goes on. I think they have the guys. They have the spine, the leadership. Beckerman, Raimondo, Borchers. Whoever can score goals, they've got a number of guys. If Sabario's 100%, he's pretty dangerous. Going with Real Salt Lake. And remember last year I called it. So New England, Real Salt Lake fans, go ahead. Get your tickets ready for, I guess that game would be at Gillette Stadium. Get there.
I don't know. Should you really tell New England fans to get their tickets? I mean, they're going to lose.
True. They probably want to be there, though.
Wait, they're both the 3 seed, though, so who has...
Wait.
That's the question.
Don't Salt Lake have the better...
No, New England's the 2 seed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, they're right.
But Salt Lake has more points.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Salt Lake has 56, and that's 55. It would be at Rio Tinto.
So San
Oh
Diego.
God! See, you cannot have MLS Cup being awarded at Rio Tinto. That's not possible.
They'll put it next to the Rocky Mountain Cup.
No, they can't do that. No.
They do that. They do that. We can bring back the that MLS Cup code that everybody ran into issues with. That 13 FTM Cup.
Well, there you go. There's our awful predictions. Go ahead and bet everything else.
Sure
we
to
said.
never.
We'll have some more predictions up on the site tomorrow once the guy that runs this place gets the email out to everyone so they can reply to it. So, without anything else, that's all we've got. Western Conference, beware. We're coming back for you. We're coming back for our trophies.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That should be an interesting season next season for that.
We're taking Kansas City with us. And
you're taking us with you.
I do, but I do have to.
I saw the Oregon Trail pick.
I was about to say, whoever put the Oregon Trail picture up today, brilliant.
That was the Sporting Twitter account.
Yes. So if you haven't seen it, go to Sporting KC's Twitter. They had an Oregon Trail thing. Houston has dysentery. It's hilarious. Go check it out. So we'll be
Just get
back
some citrus fruit, man. Just get some citrus. You're fine.
as long as we don't lose anyone.
The Chivas tombstone that killed
The Chivas USA Tombstone put it over the top. R.I.P. Chivas. So as long as we don't lose anyone off our wagon, we'll be back next week talking more playoffs. So thanks to Mike, Philip, Tyler. Talk to you guys later. See ya.